Hey everyone! In my last video, I mentioned that I might start doing a series on boundaries for this Chatting with Ashley, and I decided to just go ahead and do it. So here we go. We're doing boundaries. When I want to talk about boundaries for a couple of reasons. First, one of the coaching sessions that I do is called boundary tutoring. And in boundary tutoring, we just dig into your situation, we dig into what's going on, and we really help you figure out what kind of boundaries you need, what kind of support you need to have in order to implement those boundaries. It's very individualized. And two, the reason that I want to talk about boundaries and why I do boundary coaching at all is because boundaries are vital. Boundaries are vital. They're so important. They're important for helping us develop healthy relationships. They're important for helping us develop just a healthy self. Boundaries help figure out who we are. Boundaries are everything. I love boundary work so much. Okay, so I wanted to reference what I've been doing, which is Rejoice Adventure Therapy Retreats. We do a Tuesday tool with Rejoice, and we were talking about boundaries for a while there. I divide boundaries up into 3 different types of boundaries. And the first one I like to talk about is called protection boundaries. We'll talk about those a little bit today. Protection boundaries are those boundaries that address an immediate problem and bring you safety in that moment. So, like, if you have fiery darts coming at you, a protection boundary comes in and blocks them like a shield. So I think of protection boundaries as a shield, this thing that's blocking those immediate threats. With my post, on my Tuesday Tools post, it says, I have a right to feel safe in my home. That statement is a Bill of Rights statement. Bill of Rights statements are used to help us recognize when there is a need for a boundary and what our end goal is for that boundary. So if I know that I have a right to feel safe in my home and I go, wait, I'm not feeling safe right now, that should cue, I need a boundary because I'm not getting this basic right that I have identified that I need. So we're just going to work off of that one specific Bill of Rights statement. There are any number of them. You should be writing your own, and you can work off of these backwards the same way I'm about to. So for example, if I'm recognizing I don't feel safe right now in my home, but I have a right to feel safe in my home, what boundary do I need to look at? I might not be feeling safe in my home because I've invited someone into my home who is now not making safe choices, in which case the boundary I should be looking at is I need to ask that person to leave. My boundary is when I'm not feeling safe, I ask this person to leave. And so I will act on that. Thanks for coming, but I actually need to take off, so I need you to get going. Or you're not welcome in my home anymore. Or, you know what? I think I'm going to need a little bit more heads up before you arrive, before you show up. They're simple things when we're just saying them like this, but in the moment they're kind of tricky, which is why we write our Bill of Rights statements and why we practice what our boundaries are going to be. So that's just one example. Maybe I'm not feeling safe in my home because the person that is in my home is not providing me with the truth. And I feel the most safe if I am getting an honest response from my primary relationship, in which case I would recognize I'm not feeling safe in my home, and I would look at what boundary needs to be implemented in order to bring that right back into my life. So maybe I would say, I can tell you're not being honest with me, so I'm going to go ahead and excuse myself from the conversation right now because I have a right to feel safe, and then leave. Another instance that might be a cause of not feeling safe in your home is maybe you are making choices that are outside of your value system. You are making choices that aren't the safest, whether that's emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever. And so when you recognize, you know what, I just don't feel good. I'm not feeling safe in my home right now. That should cue you a red flag. You're not getting your basic Bill of Rights statement. You're not getting that red flag. And so then you start looking at what's going on. And that's when you implement your personal boundaries of, I have a right to feel safe in my home. And to do that, I need to make sure that I'm connecting with my higher power daily. Or I need to make sure that I'm folding the clothes and putting them away because chaos brings hard emotions for me. Or I need to not engage in this activity that I'm engaging in because I'm noticing that I'm not feeling safe. So that's what protection boundaries do. They give you a chance to analyze what's happening right there in the moment, and then put up a boundary to bring some safety for that immediate threat. And when they are well thought out and used in conjunction with your Bill of Rights statements, they can be a really powerful force to help bring peace into your life. If you have any boundary questions, or if anything that I said today was confusing and you'd like some clarification, please send me a message, drop me a comment, or reach out to me on Instagram, and I'd be happy to clarify or answer some questions. We will have another common pieces of marriage advice that are damaging for difficult relationships video coming soon, and we will at least have 2 more parts of our boundaries chat, as well as answering whatever questions you have.